Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Prom Pact. This is a 2023 Disney original film. It stars Peyton Elizabeth Lee. You know her as Andy Mack. She's kind of Disney royalty. She's something someone a lot of people grew up with, an actress who's been in a bunch of different things here and there. But this is kind of well, she's still playing a high schooler. I imagine she's already out of high school when she filmed this. I don't know, but she's got all the characteristics you remember her. I've watched Andy Mack because it was part of this series, but she's definitely not a kid anymore. In fact, this movie is not a kid's movie really at all. It's got some stronger, let's just say, suggestive language in it. It is not like outright bawdy or inappropriate for the most part. But you gotta understand that you look at Andy Mack, you look at Andy Yang, played by Peyton Elizabeth. She, you see your childhood, and to see her in something more mature, that might be a little upsetting. There's a scene in this that I think a lot of people, when I first did this, research on this, when I was getting the images and things like that, and the names of everybody who's in it, I saw a bunch of videos in the search results were going, I can't believe this is a Disney film. How? What? And I didn't click on any of them. I didn't check to see what was going on, but I could see that there was a little bit of tension there where people were like, this seems inappropriate. That seemed to be the message I was getting. So, but I left it alone. I didn't want to be have my opinion tainted by anybody else's, because I go into these fresh. Like literally, when I finish watching these movies or shows or whatever else, I just literally walk in front of the screen, bring this up, and I start recording. I'm fresh. I mean, it literally finished 5 minutes ago. Bathroom break, stuff like that. So, so everything here is unscripted, and I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. There is a scene in this that might be seen as inappropriate for children. Again, it's suggestive. That's about it, and it doesn't even involve our main character. It's two guys talking about sex. And of course, one of them is like a junior high kid with all of the all the wisdom of a junior high kid when it comes to things, the importance of sex in a person's life. That that kid has got it all figured out. So, yeah, but it's a short little scene. A lot of this is fairly standard fare kind of storytelling. It is a story about somebody who is very, very focused on her education, about bettering herself, bettering the world. Why can't I? Mandy, played by Peyton. Mandy is all about saving the trees, saving the bees, saving the whales, and environmentalism, and doing everything she can to save the world and do every good and right thing by everyone. And that's her whole focus. She's sort of closed off to anybody except her best friend, played by Milo Manheim. Hey, you know him from Zombies, which I think a fourth one just came out or is about to any minute now. I don't know offhand. It's on the list, but we'll get to it. But he plays Ben Plunkett, and Ben is just, again, Milo's really good at playing these goofy, likable, friendly, handsome kind of characters. But yet he's a complete dork. In this one, he doesn't have to put on zombie makeup or color his hair green or anything else, which is fortunate for him in this case. He gets to be a normal, non-monster human being, and who lives in Seattle, and that's where it takes place. He's got a humongous crush on a girl, but he's best friends with Mandy, and they do everything together. They just hang out. They go to the movies. They go to the bookstore. They get breakfast, pancakes at night. They have so much in common, and even when it comes to the prom, they're just like, hey, do you just want to go? Yeah, we're just gonna go. And that is, it's the Prom Pact. That is the Prom Pact. They made a pact. They're going to go to the prom together because nobody else likes them, and they don't like anybody else, for the most part. Well, okay, again, Ben likes this other girl. What is her name? Latoya. Latoya, played by Monique A. Green. Latoya, oh, I should be saying her full name because they say her full name repeatedly throughout this film, because that's the only way he can properly express himself, by saying her name. Like there's a lot of Latoyas at his Seattle high school. Don't know. So he he's got a humongous crush on her. Andy has a sorry, Peyton. Mandy has a, wow, was that intentional? Mandy. Anyway, Mandy has a humongous crush on Harvard. Harvard is all she thinks about. It's all she wants, and that's it. And I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but there are 4 primary characters and a few supporting characters throughout this. There is a super athlete, jock, handsomest guy in school. His name is Graham Lansing. He's played by Blake Draper. That is just, if you're going to be born with the name Blake Draper, unless that's his stage name, seriously, if you're going to be born with a name like Blake Draper, I think you're required to be handsome. Like, the most handsome person in any room. I think you're required. That's just, it's on your resume, it's on your birth certificate, I think. Most handsome baby. It's just the way it is. Well, Mandy finds out that his dad is, he's a senator, I believe. He's in the government, very powerful, very influential, but he went to Harvard too. Why is this important? Well, she's on a wait list. And she thinks, well, maybe if I can get close to this guy, this Graham kid, that everybody worships. Even like the teachers are weirdly obsessed with him. Even like I think her parents, one of which is Wendy McLendon-Covey, know who he is. Like he's a celebrity superstar in the school. Girls run around, underclassmen run around and try to get pictures of him while he's sitting in the library or something. It's a weird thing. If you are known by him, you're somebody special. And whether that's deserved or not is a whole other part of the story. But so what does she do? Well, she of course tries to take an opportunity to get to know him a little bit better by tutoring him in something that she knows a whole lot about that he's struggling with. Maybe get closer, maybe find out that maybe the dad will give her a recommendation and she's in Harvard, no problem. Of course, you know how this is going to go. Now, unless you were thinking that the Prom Pact would be the best friends realizing that they are more than best friends, that's a possible story as well. But is it going to be likely something along the lines of opposites attract? Maybe. Don't know. I do know, but I'm not going to tell you. But of course it creates complications and moments. There's always those moments of revealing people's true intents that set off conflict between characters you want to get together. And also it's all about people who assume that others are the way they think they are without knowing much about them. Making assumptions about people. Because Graham's obviously just the hottest, handsome guy jock in the school. That's all he is. It's all just the surface, right? He's all into himself. He's an egotist, right? And Mandy is just a smart girl. She's obsessed with her things, her missions in life and her school and everything else. And that's it. And Milo, well, he's just what he was defined as when he was embarrassed as a young teen. They have a nickname for him, which I've already forgotten. But he's defined as that. And he's treated as an outcast and a dork. That's why he's somehow not neither of our main characters are high ranking in the social status. When they show up to a party that they weren't invited to, but nobody would think that they'd be invited to. They stand out. But the best parts about this is the great relationship between Ben and Mandy and how they connect. But it's also the worst in the sense for them where they try to look out for each other, but Mandy's obsessions kind of get in the way of everything and makes things a whole lot difficult, not just for herself, but everybody around her. In that sense, it's more of a serious thing than just a romantic comedy, which it hits every one of those points. It's romantic and it's comedy, and is it's in that sense there's no surprises, there's misunderstandings, and is there a resolution to anybody's love story? Maybe. I know being coy like this is pretty telling. So I actually liked this. I actually liked it. The characters. Yeah, it's again. You've probably seen this story done a thousand times, and I think this also kind of is a throwback to the classic '80s films. Why is that important? Why is that shot right there really important? Well, the prom theme. Again, I keep forgetting that this is all about the prom. The whole point of this builds up to the prom. Why is it important? Well, the '80s is decided to be the prom theme, which all kids in 2023 really want to listen to their parents' music at a dance. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. Is there tons of '80s music throughout this? Absolutely, there is. That is, yeah, for people my age, that helps me get through anything. I'll watch a lot of you make talking animal movies where they're just flapping their lips constantly, which I hate. Put some '80s music on. It makes it that much more palatable to me. Yes, it was the greatest generation for music, and it's the worst generation for music. Either way, doesn't matter. Gen X. So in this, there's tons of '80s references. From Ghostbusters to Back to the Future to, of course, the music. When you finish off a song by When in Rome, you know you're doing it right. A Minute Man with the Hats. There's just, yeah, there's tons of music. There's tons of visual references because apparently promposals done to an '80s theme is what you do. And yeah, in that sense, there's not just music references, but visual references throughout. Teenagers aping movies that they might have seen. So it's fun seeing those little flourishes. And there's a neat little comedy bit early on in the movie where a promposal goes wrong, and every so often, as our main characters are going through a scene, listen first and then notice that the mistake that was made earlier in the film keeps building through at least the first part of the film. I didn't check. Some guy makes a proposal to a girl, and she assumes it's from the hottest guy in school, not from her actual boyfriend. And that causes them to be in an argument throughout the film. And so every once in a while our characters are doing their thing, you will see them arguing in the background. It's a neat little recurring bit that I really, really liked. This is directed by Anya Adams and written by Anthony Lombardo. It works for me. Again, this kind of romantic story, comedy, where there's lots of misunderstandings, or firmly rooted in the '80s milieu, but it's good. It's kind of a neat introduction to the younger generation to those types of films. And yeah, there's this deconstruction of a number of those films done throughout them through Mandy's eyes, while Ben, says, tell me why this movie's problematic. Well, Mandy knocks them all out. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds does not age well. Weird Science does not age well, especially in the eyes of a feminist like Mandy. So yeah, this is the kind of movie that I enjoyed because it hit all those '80s buttons for me. Not just aesthetically but musically, and all the throwbacks, references, but also the structure and the story. This could have been made in the 80s, and probably was. I don't know. I don't know. This could be a remake for all I know that I just forgot about. But yeah, it's definitely got modern things, aesthetics. I don't want to keep using aesthetics, but there's modern elements to it as well. There's texting and messaging back and forth, and the text appears on the screen in front of our characters, so they're not always face down, and we're not always looking at a phone trying to read that. The text and emojis all appear in the air while they talk. It's a choice that is been used a lot in these kind of films. So I actually like it. It's not for everybody, and it's definitely not for your little Disney Channel friends your little Disney Channel loving kids. Junior high kids at the very youngest might get a kick out of this. Tweens who are like, I can't wait to go to the prom when I'm older. Yeah, I guess. It all depends on how mature your kids are when it comes to subjects. It is not. It's not sexual in any way, but there are references to it. But yeah, at the same time, they're not. It's not glorifying it. It's not Porky's. By the way, kids, don't watch Porky's. There's probably worse things on TikTok right now than what was the scandalous thing in Porky's back in the 80s. Just forget I said it. So yeah. I would check it out if you have a taste for 80s and enjoy a romantic comedy with teens that isn't a musical. It's not a musical, so there's no Milo singing and dancing with other zombies in this one. There's no zombies, no zombie makeup for him. But yeah, it's all it's older teens and up can probably enjoy this most. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 8. Oh, I might have... No, please don't be... Oh, okay. Well, you know what? We have more documentaries and reality shows and everything else than anything else. And, well, we picked one that's surrounded by movies on both sides, but I'll take this one. We're going to watch one episode of it. I'm pretty sure it's a series, but it's really timely because I think we just recently had something change when it comes to airport policy. And I'll probably talk about this tomorrow, but we take our shoes off all the time because somebody at one point decided to do something really dumb when getting on an airplane involving his shoes. I'm not going to say because I don't know what kind of things it will trigger. And we have to take shoes off for the rest of our lives. We don't have to do that anymore. When we do get our bags scanned and everything, we can keep our shoes on. But this, we'll probably talk about that just a little bit. It's called airport security. So, yeah. We're going to be watching airport security on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.